Hi there, fight fans. We're here at Manchester Top Team, joined by Carl Prince, the head coach today. Carl, first of all, thank you very much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Yeah, splendid. Thanks for coming down, mate. Yeah, enjoying the summer of Manchester.
I know it's a lovely spot we've got down here, and I want to kick it off just by talking about the recent success of the gym. I mean, going back to PFL Brussels, even with Ibrahim, and then you have Jonas Magard on Octagon 73, you know, Maxwell and AB on PFL Africa, of course, what Ateba did at UFC 318. I mean, there's so many other guys as well. What do you put that recent success down to? Is it just the work that these guys put in these walls?
Well, I think like success comes with many prices and many factors, doesn't it? But I'm not surprised by it. Like it doesn't. We expect this really, just because we understand that we're a bit more diligent than other people. We're a bit more obsessed than other people. We have a little bit more drive, and I think that our journey is, without no disrespect to anybody else, a little bit different to theirs in the fact that we're not here to make up the numbers. Like the guys that you spoke of are all like high level talents and people that have high expectations for, and I truly believe that we're just getting started. It's like the difficult thing about fighting is that when you win, we don't really celebrate, but obviously when the opposite is true, then you go back and you really examine a lot of the things that you could be doing better. But we're always examining things like as if we're coming in second place irrespective of the results. So yeah, great results and a good start to this year. We're obviously just past the halfway point with it now, but we've got some massive fights coming up. And the thing as well about fighting is this: we're always forever moving with the clock. So we kind of that's happened now. What's occurred is great, and I'm sure in future years when this is all over, I'll look back on this as a golden time potentially, but not the golden time, just the golden time towards the next golden time. So yeah, the clock keeps ticking and the ball keeps rolling, and we've got for the people that you mentioned now, we're already looking at the next contest for the next fights coming up, and for people that we've got some big opportunities. So yeah, thank you. We're in a great spot. It's not unexpected. It's what we do expect, and then we're just expecting to grow and build from here, and away we go.
I think that's one thing I've noticed with the whole team in general, both fighters and yourself as the head coach, that every time there's a big win, there's a big performance, a big knockout, and everyone gets so high, you all stay very, very in the middle. You don't get too high, you don't get too low, and it's sort of just, well, that was great, but what can we do better? What can we improve on? And then how do we improve to the
Fighting's
next?
got no respect. Like fighting has no respect, and neither does winning, you know. And for us, like rent is due every day, and it's an expression some people use. But for me, like winning doesn't care what you did yesterday. Like that win that we had last week doesn't care what we're doing tomorrow. Like we've got to show up and pay our bills. We've got to show up and pay our rent. We've got to show up and improve. And like we'll look back on fights and look back at moments, and it's good when like outside people from outside the sport come in and tell us how well we're doing. It's a little bit of vindication, a little bit of validation, but for us, we don't believe that we've achieved anything yet. We know we haven't, because our goal is a little bit different, and everyone's goal here is aligned with that. Everyone's goals are aligned to really change the game, be the first authority. Like there's been individuals from the UK that have gone on and won titles, but there hasn't been a team that have really come and impressed upon that and have multiple champions across multiple divisions, across multiple promotions. And that's the dream, that's the goal, that's the vision, that's what's going to happen. So like until we get to that point, we're not going to be like, oh yeah, we beat this guy last week or something like that. Like it's nice, do you know what I mean? We're here to win. But like I said, winning doesn't care what we did yesterday. Winning cares what we're doing today, what we're doing tomorrow, and what we're doing about it the day after. So we're just on that train forever.
And looking ahead to that day after now, I mean, you mentioned some big fights coming off. Of course, we have to talk first about Lerone Murphy and the massive announcement that we got last week. And I imagine it was sort of a feeling of relief to finally get a fight in for him, and a massive opportunity. I mean, a pay-per-view co-main.
Yeah. Again, not unexpected. Like I think pay-per-view main event is what we've always been building towards and working about. Obviously done some main events now, so it's just another fight. Like the occasion's kind of for the promoters, but for us it's just another fight. It's just another step towards his destiny, his goal. It's inevitable that he's going to come and fight for the title. It's inevitable that he's going to go on and become like Manchester's well, not Greater Manchester, but Manchester itself, first UFC champion. I don't doubt that for a second. But yeah, big fight, big opportunity, short notice. But we've been looking for a fight. We were hoping to get perhaps a Gene Silva, a Diego Lopez, and Ortega, the fight that was really going to propel us to fight Volkanovski next. But this is the fight that does that. So we've got like a limited amount of time to prepare for it. But we're already prepared anyway. If we were to fly out to Chicago and have a fight this weekend, we're ready to go. So we've got 2 more weeks to do the final bits of preparation. And then from there we'll get a good win over Aaron Pico, take away his little bit of shine, and then move forward and screaming for the title shot from there. So yeah, it's a great position to be in. Lerone's ready for all comers, anyone in the top 15 and anyone outside of it. So I'm sure they're trying to give Pico a push to perhaps get an American champion. I think they've only got one, and that's Kyler Harrison. So Aaron Pico ain't going to be that guy next either. He's not coming for what we've worked for. He's going to step down the rankings and have his own journey, which I'm sure will be a great one, but not at the expense of ours.
It feels very interesting to me. I mean, I love that you mentioned that. A lot of the hype and the narrative and sort of the build-up around this fight seems to me to be focused on Pico, despite the fact he's not yet stepped into the UFC octagon and Lerone's on an 8-fight win streak. I mean, when you look at that, is it a little bit of a feeling of maybe disrespect?
Nah, we love it, mate. It could be. The thing is, if you take something as a disrespect, then it's a negative, isn't it? And I think throughout Lerone's career within the UFC, because he's quite an understated guy in the press and outside of that, and like with the performances he does, he's a technician. He's like he'll clinically beat somebody, but people want to see someone throw someone around and have a blood guts war with someone in the center of the cage. But he's a smart guy. He's like an intelligent guy's fighter. His fight IQ is real good. So by virtue of that, you have to take the hard road. And like with the performance, I think he's now got the most. I saw the other day that he's the 4th highest winning streak ever in the UFC. He's got the 4th fight, and like you said, no one puts any respect on his name, but we kind of like that. We like to be the underdog. We like to be the people that people don't think about, and you just creep in behind the background and take the prize from everybody else. That's what we do like. We love booze. We love being the underdog. We love being someone that you're not talking about, because like underestimate him at your peril, and 9 people have done that before and come out empty-handed within the UFC itself. So this will only be a 10th, and if everyone be like talking about Pico before, I promise they're going to be talking about Lerone Murphy afterwards, and just another intelligent performance. I've said this before, but some people in the media said, or even fans are like, oh, he's like the Floyd Mayweather of MMA. Is not interesting to watch. I'm like, is that like an insult? Like, is that like an insult? Like, with the fact that we're taking very little damage, we're outscoring opponents by maybe like 80% in fights, like beating legends of the sport after legend of the sport. Just send them over. Like, honestly, line them all up, and our guy's gonna chew them all up. I promise you that. So another name on the record, a good name for us, a good step along the ladder, and like I said, Volkanovski next after that.
It's funny. I've always thought of Lerone as a bit of a litmus test for MMA fans. It's kind of the casual, so to speak, or the people that watch the sport for the sport. Because I think those people will see his footwork, his technique, the way he sets things up, the way he sets traps for people, and I think you can appreciate that if you like the sport. But people like knockouts these days, and if you look at knockouts, there's no better than Ateba.
Yeah, that's right. And by virtue of that, like Ateba, because when we were coming back from America, like everyone was stopping him at the airport. He was even getting his bags inspected. You know, when it goes for the thing and you got to wait for your bag, and there's like a procession of people to get the picture took, and he turned around to me and said, oh, it must be hard for Lerone walking through the airport. So I was like, it's nice that you like this, you're getting a little bit more smoke. But yeah, and a great thing for Ateba, obviously fighting on the pay-per-view, which brings more eyes to it. Lerone's now fighting on a pay-per-view, can take away someone's clout and move forward with that, and then Ateba on the pay-per-view after that. So a great time for us, but like I said, we expect to be on the Elwana show every week. We expect to be on every pay-per-view with the level of talent that we've got through here, and these guys are leading the charge for us at the moment.
Absolutely, and speaking of that level of talent, I mean, I messaged you after PFL Brussels because I was so impressed. I mean, me and Aidan, we watched the fight together. Ibrahimov, I could not believe that he's 21 years old. Some of the things he was doing, of course, that sprawl, which has become viral now that he did during the fight. I mean, was he just one of those guys that the second he walked through the doors here, you had a feeling you're onto something?
Yeah, we used to have a gym previous to this in Stockport, and he was 14 when he came, and he was just a wrestler. He'd just moved from Sheffield, and they were playing football, and his dad really wanted to play football. And then he came in just as, like, honestly, as a wrestler. And if you dispute that he was 21, I can show you pictures of when he came in as 14, and there's no disputing that he was that. Same with Ateba as well. But now he walked into gym 14, like real good wrestling. You know, I think he'd won like the South Russia Championships or whatever, and placed in certain wrestling tournaments back in Russia before he came to England. So yeah, when you come with that skill set, especially in these shows, when you're a heavy wrestling based guy, then the rest will come naturally. And like his striking over time has really grown and improved. Obviously, he's been with us for like 7 years now. So that's right. And I've always wanted him to. We'd have not little disagreements. Like I want him to go out and showcase how good his striking is. And he's like, why would when the guy doesn't have an answer from wrestling, why would I go out and showcase my striking and things like that? And like he would find like a unique way to win, like perhaps the easiest. The route to the easiest victory. So what I was delighted with in this last fight with Ibrahim was the fact that he put his MMA together nicely. We spoke about it at length before the fight because he was carrying like quite a serious knee injury into there. That like maybe if he's wrestling, if he was finding he was like having a bit of problems with an injury, that he should go back to his striking. And I was so excited to see that we just saw like a real small sample size of what he can do. You know, there's a reason why he's like giving Lerone good rounds across all formats of MMA, not just within the grappling, is because his striking is at such a high-class level, like a world-class level. I think you even heard like Brendan Loughnane on commentary allude to it, the fact that his striking is just as good as his wrestling. And we truly believe it is. He can fight from both stances. It is the full package. And he can really talk as well. So now his style will rise from here. We're looking for another fight. He's back in Dagestan now, healing up from the little injury that he had. And now it's looking promising that we'll get a fighting by the end of the year.
That's very exciting to hear. He feels very similar to Ateba to me in the way that the opponent is kind of looking to survive, with all due respect. I mean, you've seen with that fight, his previous fights, and the same with Ateba. The guys really aren't going there to fight. It's sort of just kind of make it to the decision. It feels like that.
Yeah, he was celebrating, wasn't he?
I know.
Durgan was celebrating the fact that he didn't get stopped, I think. And Ibrahim's never lost a round in professional or amateur MMA. So, like, long may that continue, you know. So it just shows you, like, we have a policy here that we don't want to win. We want to beat you 100. No, we want to get you where you don't want to come back and face any of our guys again. We want to get you so you want to join the gym on the Monday and see what it is that we're doing. And that happens a lot.
Well, that's great to hear. And looking ahead now, I know you're going out to Vegas pretty soon for the Contender Series, of course. Louis Lee Scott, I mean, how exciting is that for you to, you know, these guys that you've been with for so long, and you see them, you bring them up, and now they're here getting this big opportunity. I mean, it has to be such a special moment for the team.
Yeah. Don't really think about that type of stuff, to be honest. But yeah, undoubtedly, you know, for me to see like these guys that I've had from such a tender age, you know, Ateba, even when he came here was like 19, Ibrahim when he was 14, McGrillen when he was 15, and then Louis since he was like 16. So yeah, growing up with these guys and like they've been a bigger part of my life as anything, and will continue to be. So yeah, when they win, I win, don't they? And these are little goals along the way. Like, and I was saying to Louis when he was a 16-year-old kid and he was still with AVT and coming down training with us all the time, that like my expectations for you are of you to go on and you know, win and compete for world titles, to become like the first fighter from Leeds ever in the UFC, to become like, these are little stepping stones along the way. And we're right on schedule. We took a fight against Demar Pena maybe about 18 months ago to get him to the UFC, and I knew that would be the fight that propelled him towards it. We ended up having to have another fight before we got here, but now we're here. I'm just ready to like everyone to see what our kid's up to. You know, these guys are a real like. When we don't just have like a fighter coach friendship, these guys are a family to me. So it's good to see the people that you care about shine, and I gain nothing more in my life from seeing that. So yeah, it will be a great moment, but it'll only be a moment, and as soon as the moment's over, we'll work towards the next moment and the next moment, and continuing moments that we can go out and show everybody just how good he is, just how much of a shining light of what's happening next in MMA he is. He can really do it all and do it all and blend it all nicely together. So good opponent, a tough test on Dana White's Contender Series. We won't want it any other way. So we'll go out there and take this guy's all and move on and secure that contract and become a real force in the bantamweight division, I'm sure.
Oh, I can't wait to see. I think it's going to be a great occasion and a great fight. Thank you very much for your time and allowing us to come down to
You're welcome. Thanks for coming down from sunny Warrington, mate. Lowering your standards, getting yourself to Manchester, yeah. You're welcome anytime.